Hello, this is Norman Voss, and I am at the Heritage Center, and today I'm showing you a letter from 1851. It's from Louis Andrew Prevost from Fredericksburg to his sister Jane. Now, interesting, and I have stuff from Ancestry.com, give them a shout out, didn't realize all of that. So his wife, Lauren McCarty, her mother was Lucy Beale Peyton, so I believe her mother was the sister of Jane Howison Beale's husband, Charles. Anyways, side Fredericksburg note there. Anyways, he's in Paris, France on December 6th, writing in 1851 to his sister. Well, on December 2nd, Louis Bonaparte Napoleon has a coup. He is the president, the first president of France, became president in 1848. But in 1852, they're going to vote for a new president. He doesn't want to have that happen. He wants to always be the president. So he has a coup. It's called Operation Rubicon. Interesting, right? So he's going to take over and get rid of the National Assembly, where he wants to be the emperor. He wants to have reforms. And interestingly, one of the reforms he wants to have is the universal male suffrage was this thing. And he actually wanted to make it so of any religion, any how rich you are, where you live, didn't matter, you would be able to vote. I guess you couldn't do that. Crazy that he wants to be emperor and then allow everyone to vote. I got to look into that more. That doesn't make sense. But anyways, now to the letter from Louis to his sister Jane.
My dear Jane, as I know the news of the revolution here will render you all very anxious on my account, I sit down to write a few lines before I leave Paris, and most fortunate will I be to get away. For this is a...
He starts out that he has he has health problems. He says Mr. Chevalier, the doctor, comes to see him every day. He says his right lung is most affected, but there's time for restoration, which we're going to find out later. Is not curious. But on to the coup. What's going on in the streets of Paris? So an insurrection is starting, led by who? Victor Hugo. Victor Hugo, who wrote Les Miserables, if you remember. Anyways, this is what he writes, what's going on. Thursday at 2 o'clock, totally ignorant that there's been any disturbance near my destination.
I took a cab to go to the Palais Royal, and as I passed the carousel, it was bristling with bayonets. And the Palais Royal was filled with troops. We passed on into the Rue de Saint-Aron, and in a few moments came upon a crowd so dense that we were turned back. I turned down to Rue de la Paix, and as I reached the first street, here came another regiment of lancers, full gallop towards me, and wheeled down towards the Place Vendôme. And as they did so, here came a regiment of chasseurs from the place, moving towards the boulevards with their pistols cocked.
You just imagine just thousands of people in the streets because Napoleon Bonaparte's nephew is trying to take over the country. He wants to be the emperor, so he's arresting people left and right. People who are against him are getting killed, murdered in the streets. He says he goes down another street, and that when the people commenced firing on the troops from the houses, and the firing was returned to them. Because an army stood, and order is restored. The next day he goes, and there was order restored. And today I rode up to get my letter, and I passed over these scenes of slaughter in which I had been so nearly entrapped. The walls of houses were stuck full of musket balls, with here and there a cannonball. Much blood has been shed. Many innocent persons have been killed from the indulging their curiosity and swelling the crowds when they would have been better at home. Just to be part of the scene when a coup is taken over in France, in Paris. And then just to come here, I assume his sister lived on 307 Caroline Street near the city dock, that this was found somewhere in the house of him writing. And it ends, we found out that he actually died a few months later in April in Pisa, Italy, in the Tuscany. I assume from his illness that he had. His wife, he married her in 1844, and she was still in Fredericksburg. He died at the age of 34 in Italy. Such a sad story, such an amazing story. And then to finish it off, Louis Napoleon Bonaparte wanted to be known as Napoleon III. And another weird Napoleon connection is that our own Fredericksburg's James Monroe, the 5th president of the United States, was also friends with Napoleon I. Anyways, here at the Heritage Center, we just have history in your hands. So an amazing thing here. Check out the Heritage Center, volunteer, get involved in the history of Fredericksburg, because now we see its worldwide history itself. From the Heritage Center, my name is Norman Voss, and we'll see you next time. Keep history alive.